What did we learn from debriefing 211 launches within the last year? So that was the premise of my launch lab. I just finished doing that training. It was 2 days of training. We taught for about 3 hours, or I taught for about 3 hours, and then we did some laser coaching because I had 3 of my coaches in studio. This was a live broadcast. And so first I taught about what we've learned over those 211 debriefs. And then we did some real life in person, well, not in person. I was in person with my coaches, but we had some of our folks on Zoom, and we would pull them up and we would coach them on their business and their launch and their offer and where they were in their business. So it was absolutely amazing. And here's the thing is 211 debriefs taught us about what's working in the market right now. Here we are at the beginning of the year and everyone's making predictions about what's going to happen this coming year. I'm not a huge fan of predictions. I'm a huge fan of keeping my finger on the pulse of what's working and knowing that doing that's always going to allow me to pivot into what changes. So there were some big changes in the last few years. It seems like everything was is sort of be defined as before the pandemic and after the pandemic. And in the pandemic, online businesses did super well. It was a hard time for the world, but it was a great time for online businesses. And so 2020 and 2021, for most people I know that had online businesses, were great years. And then things started to get harder in 2022 and 2023 as the market shifted. What happened was a lot of competition came into the market because people started to realize that online businesses were amazing. So many people started new online businesses, so most markets and niches became more crowded and there was more competition. Then we had AI come in the last year, and all of a sudden it got so much easier to create content, so people put out more content. So once again, more competition for eyeballs. So that's some sort of the big frame behind what's going on. And some of the things that we noticed is it might sound silly when I say this, but people want what they want, and they want it when they want it, and they want it how they want it. And there's a lot less patience out there in general right now. So if you're creating content, if you're creating products, if you're creating trainings and courses, then it got a lot harder to capture people's attention, and they had a lot less patience. Now, of course, that's been true for all time, ever since humanity we were in caves. It's accelerated now. And so now we're in a world where you're competing with this huge information glut, this huge content glut. Again, it's always been that way, but it's accelerated. So it's made your marketing more important, frankly. With more competition, you have to be better and sharper with your marketing. One of the big themes we saw this has been part of my product launch formula forever, is what we call creating desire before availability. Desire before availability, where you get people excited about a product and anticipating a product before it's even available. And another one is what we call value before reveal. This is that in your marketing, you want to create real value for your people. It doesn't mean you're taking your entire course, your entire membership, and you're giving it to them for free. A lot of people make the mistake of over teaching in their marketing. Teaching's fantastic, but the teaching has to be to the opportunity that people have to have a better life with your product, whatever it is. So your teaching in your pre-launch has to be on point, and it has to lead to the sale. And essentially what you're doing is you're telling the story of your client's future success. That's what your pre-launch does. That's what your marketing does, is it tells them that story. It gets them excited about that story. It shows how they can have that future that they want. You want to move people to a higher state of intimacy as they go through your marketing. As they get closer to the sale, as they get closer to the offer, hopefully you're building a greater relationship and more intimacy, maybe even taking them to a more intimate setting. That's some of the stuff I covered in Launch Lab. We taught for 6 hours or something. It was absolutely awesome. I did some new things I've absolutely never done in my live trainings. I had so much fun. I had 3 coaches in from all over the place. 3 of my full-time coaches came in, and we did that laser coaching. And then afterwards, we went out to dinner. I was on an absolute adrenaline pump. I couldn't get to sleep last night because I was so excited about what we did in Launch Lab. And here, this is sort of behind the scenes, the secret to success. I don't know if that's probably not accurate, but maybe let's call it the reality of success, is that now I'm shooting this on a Friday. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that Fridays here in Colorado for me are ski Fridays. I ski every Friday. But I needed to get this video out to you because I also send you a video every weekend. And so here I am. It's still dark outside. I can look outside. It's still dark outside. So I had to turn on the lights. I had to put on my hat because I didn't take a shower. My hair looks crazy. And I'm about to jump in the car and head out to the mountain and go skiing. But first, I had to get up and shoot a video for you. So I've been in this business for, I don't know, we're closing in on 30 years now in this business. I've had more success than I could ever dream of. It's been years since I had to work for money. I've been fortunate to have enough success over the years, and I have a pretty simple lifestyle. So I don't do this for the money. I mean, the money's great. More money's fantastic. It means I can have more impact in the world, do more good, but I don't need it. And yet, here I am. It's still dark outside, getting up extra early on a ski Friday so I can send you a message. So, there is no finish line as an entrepreneur. There's no finish line in having a successful life. There's no finish line in having an amazing life. There's just doing the work, getting better. I feel like I'm doing better work now than I've ever done in my entire career. I feel like at my age, at my advanced age, playing a young man's game here, shooting videos, that I'm getting better and doing my best work. But part of that is getting up early and shooting a video for you before I go skiing on a ski Friday. I'm Jeff Walker. Scroll down, leave a comment for me, give that thumbs up. Even you can hit the subscribe button. And if you missed Launch Lab, it was awesome. Head on over to productlaunchformula.com, and you're not going to be able to get Launch Lab, but if you put your email in there, you're always going to get the latest, coolest free training from me. So go to productlaunchformula.com, put your email address in, and start getting my emails so you can get cool things like Launch Lab, because it was awesome. I'm Jeff Walker, and let's go get them this week.